even Joanna Man back in the day, like with that movie where the guy played as they even tried to hide it, tried to look feminine. But these guys just look like they look like Asmongold. That's what they look like. Just rolled out of bed,
shaved their beard.
Yeah, shaved beard Asmongold. We saw this story from Lunduke, who we've had on the show. We'll have him on the show again. He's been excellent. Now, Lunduke, for those of you who don't know, is a tech journalist in its purest form. He is a journalist that has zero ads and has zero big tech influence. That's his words, not mine, and it's his actions. He's been great. Now, Lunduke does not toe the company line as far as all the insanity happening in the space, which is why he will cover things like this. An all-women, quote, all-women esports league has at least one team made up entirely of men pretending to be women. Nothing says empowering women like kicking out women to make room for men. Now we have this here. It's the Supernova Comets over here, and we'll get to them here in just a little bit. This is the ESL Impact group. You see all women, all in here. And you can go back to their X account and see it for themselves. They recently had an event here in Dallas, which I did not know was happening, but it happened just this past weekend. Had I known, I would have gone over and checked it out. And you can see their list of winners from their ESL Impact champions here. You can see right here the list of all the females that have won trophies over the last looks like Dallas, and Dallas is a regular stop for them. Which is nice. And you can see some of the girls who actually compete. Professional CS:GO player. Here's Isa and Gabriella, who is a woman. Gabs over here, right? And then we got Bizahana over here. So look, this is a thing where women get together and they compete, and it's all women all the time, except for when it's not. And that is where the Supernova comments come into play. Now I'm going to share the screen here, and I'm going to share an image of the Supernova comments, and we're just going to, take a glance and see if they pass. So there they are. There them are, and we can get a closer look at some of these folks here. Eric, you have a look of intrigue on.
It's ma'am.
Blabs, when you see any thoughts on this just first impression?
Yeah, a bunch of dudes with long hair who have poor hygiene.
So I don't think you're wrong.
No.
I don't think you're wrong. Now, some of these, they went in and these folks were actually listed out on the Supernova's X handle. So you can go in and kind of see who these people are. These Supernova comments as they advance to the grand finals here. And some of these folks have actually nuked their X account here.
Mm-hmm.
But you can kind of see here, they all have the pronouns in the bio, she, her over here. They definitely want you to know. Then we have this is empathy. Empathy.
Empathy is my absolute favorite.
Looks like a rocker from the 80s over here.
He's my favorite. He has a whole meltdown, and he's not very empathetic.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
The name ironic then?
Yeah.
There is a lot of irony here. Competing for evil geniuses, I guess, or supernova. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at this tweet, I should be happy, but instead I'm in my hotel, I'm crying. I poured my heart and soul into this game, and I've tried so hard to get better, and yet all I get told is to kill myself.
Keep going. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Imagine nonstop trying to build a team and playing all day, and you finally feel improvement just to be hated on everything and have everyone you looked up to hate you and treat you like you're evil. I'm tired and I'm trying my best. I've had a horrible life, and CS has been Counter-Strike has been one of the only things I've enjoyed. I truly love this game and the few friends I've made through it, but the community has been the most horrible thing I've ever experienced. Part of me wishes I never started playing and never met the people I did. I'm a real person trying to do what I enjoy, and this shit does affect me. I'm so tired of seeing all the hate every day. Just want to be left alone and treated like a human being doing what I love, but I guess that will never happen. Well, dude, if you pretend to be a woman, people are going to hit on you and be pissed off with you. But if you look a little bit, scrolled a little bit down, my favorite comment, though, Botanic says, a woman can be destroyed but not defeated. Keep pushing.
That's right. Speaking of women, let's go and look at Lydia Fox. That's Fox, Fawx over here.
I thought we were going to do the whole FOX
No,
again.
FAWX,
Yeah.
right, which is great. Here's Lydia Fox, which just looks like, I don't know, looks like a dude trying to look edgy.
Emo? Yeah,
Yes.
I don't even know.
Right. So there we are. And here's Lydia Fox with Lydia Fox's hair actually brushed. So there's that.
It's not even brush. It's just another angle.
just a different angle right here.
Yeah.
Eric, you're a dad. When you see this type of thing, I don't know, do you have any thoughts on all this nonsense?
Yeah. I just hope my daughters never have to play against one of them in sports.
I agree. We've had this conversation at our house, and like I said, my general stance on this is very simple, right? You want to be an adult, you want to do whatever you want to do, fine. Just don't do it to kids.
Mhm.
And when you start impacting women's spaces, real women's spaces, that's when I have an issue with you. That's it. It seems like a very standard thought that probably 80+% of society thinks, right? Don't mess with kids, leave women alone. That's it. Real simple, right? But as soon as you impact and you're a part of a women's league, right? That's where I have issues with this. It doesn't seem like it's that crazy. Now, how has this group done? The Supernova Comets this past weekend, in all their glory, as you look at their imagery here, like, just looks like a bunch of dudes with long hair. Right?
Exactly. Except for the guy on the right. He actually is a dude. I've confirmed.
Yes, he actually
him.
is a dude.
He seems to be like a coach or something like that.
I'm guessing.
It makes me laugh though, because like even though these entire group of dudes were so bad at, video games that they couldn't compete with other dudes, they're still so shit at games that they didn't even win against the women. You're shit.
They came up and runners up.
Mm-hmm. And the winners were actually all female. So
I wanted to go in and take a look at a video that they made, the Supernova Comets over here. And, look, sometimes, we talked about this yesterday, sometimes it's hard to judge a book by its cover, right? But then sometimes the book reads itself to you and you get to listen to them in their own words.
People are so used to NA going out immediately that I think we're going to surprise some people for sure.
Oh, it makes all the sense why he covers half of his face with his hair. I get it. I would too.
Blabs, as I'm going to assume your gender here.
Oh, no.
I know that you are a woman.
Right.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
See if you can just get a hint of femininity in their voice at all over this clip.
Okay.
Just a single feminine voice.
I don't really think of myself as like a pro player or anything like that. Just more like an individual that's like working to getting better at the game all the time and enjoying it.
I think we should make it out of groups. I think we have a pretty good chance of making it like really far, but it'll be tough and it's really hard to judge like the international competition without like playing against them frequently, which is like really hard for us to do.
This is Empathy, the one of your social post, Blabs.
Yeah. None of them sound womanly. They all sound like dudes who have some sort of gayness.
They all sound
I wouldn't say
like
that.
What's that?
Oh,
I
the
wouldn't even say
second one,
that.
I would
Yeah, I
say,
agree.
had a little bit of a gay voice in him.
I don't even think that's the case. I think that these dudes, like, this is guys who are socially awkward, who we talked about this recently, who clung on to something, were love bombed, and then all of a sudden we're like, my name's empathy. You know, like if you saw this guy walking down the street, you would think, probably has some issues.
Yep.
Right? You know, going back to this cat over here, right? Like if you saw this guy walking down the street, you'd probably say, probably has some issues, right? So we're
Not
noticing
an ounce of them are like trying to be somewhat feminine. It's wild.
Yeah, like they're not. That's the thing. They're not even trying. Right?
We just have crazy chemistry in the server, and we're all super individually good, and it shows.
Smell in there.
We have high hopes, though. We compete.
Like this guy has a deeper voice than me.
Yep.
Like that's,
It's Mound.
I just doesn't. I don't get it. So, anyways, there's a 2-minute clip here of this. And as you scroll down, there's a lot of like, yay, Razi da, happy day. And until you actually go back and you see that people have kind of started to push back against this. Now, the amount of AGP incels on your team is pretty concerning.
Well,
but they've actually...
that person's a feminist because those colors are feminism.
Okay, well, that's fine. Everybody needs their colors, I suppose. But they've gone in, they've actually done a lot of hidden replies on this post.
Of course.
They went in and you see they actually kind of stopped on the 25th. They're like, we can't combat this. And that's why you've seen the response to this. But look at all these.
We're scrolling through Twitter right now.
This is risky business.
Yes, that's funny. But you can see they've gone in and they've hit all these, and then they just eventually gave up. They just gave up on it. So that's kind of where we're at with this. We have them taking over these women's spaces, which is just wildly inappropriate. But I thought it'd be good to go in and actually see some of the actual tournament itself for them actually competing against the teams that they are competing against. So here is footage of them competing this past weekend against Zarents at the ESL Impact League Season 7 finals here. And this is after the game is over. So once again, tell me how feminine these people are.
Round for Supernova comment.
How does that go completely skew with for Zerans? Well,
so you can see, it just looks like a bunch of dudes just hanging out playing computer games.
Hair.
Yes.
Well, you've got two players that push elbow at the same time. They get the kills, and then Supernova comments say, do you know what? We need to take these fights. And they immediately come in. Emerald is really anticipating.
I'm just curious what the chat looked like at this point. Just want to look in real time.
Yeah. How many people were even watching this live?
I don't know. I don't know. But so curious, like, what do the actual girls who are competing this look like? Well, I have the answer to that because I watched a little bit more of this. They actually look like girls.
Yeah, what a surprise.
This is what the league was supposed to be for right here. Which is just wildly upsetting that this is happening. And like part of me wants to shame these women here, these girls, for not saying anything.
Yeah, I would never play.
Right. Like, Blabs, as a female, are you like, does this upset you to see that like these women aren't saying anything?
Yep, especially because some of them are like, yes, queen, you go, girl. And they're like hyping these guys up. And it's like, do you not understand what you're doing? You're literally setting us back, right? We've only been able to vote for what, 100 years, give or take? And this is what you're doing? You want to bring the guys back into like the one thing? Like that's supposed to be for women, the women's video games? Wild. Yeah, no, I'm not for it.
Anybody with common sense isn't. So, Eric, I know you're wondering, hey, how'd this turn out? Which team was the big winner here? Well, spoilers. It wasn't the girls.
The bomb but still, they don't ever go through donut. So Emerald's position then feels really weird because you've got players coming through red at the same time. I don't think Xerax expected that whatsoever. So even being in a bit of a predicament, Supernova Comet still had the jump on them.
I do quite like that scene.
Anyways, sure enough, they ended up taking it, dominating, and getting the win here.
So wait, the guys did win?
Yeah, well, the guys beat in this round.
In this round? Okay, I was gonna say, I'm like, no way, I saw the other ones have won.
Yeah.
Damn.
So
Did they teabag the other team when they were done?
Taste it. Yeah. Well, that's now deemed as harassment, I suppose. Why does esports hate women?
Maybe because those guys running it couldn't get any bitches.
I mean, when you go back and you look at this, like that's literally the only thing that I can ask is why do the organizers why does DHL, Intel, these companies that sponsor this, why do they go against women and they allow this stuff? Is it they're so petrified of the pushback? Is that what it is?
They're probably getting grants from.
Yeah, I think it's all the above.
Inclusive.
One, they, like Eric said, they couldn't get. They got grants. They got the push of social media going, oh my god, amazing, and all that. Then some of them may be socially awkward men in real life who never got women. They're like, well, fuck you. Went and ruined it.
They just gave up.
They got no bitches.
Well, it's amazing to watch, to see the erosion of opportunities for women, right? And these dudes walking around who aren't even hiding it, right? This feels very like even Joanna Man back in the day, like with that movie where the guy played as they even tried to hide it, tried to look feminine, but these guys just look like they look like Asmongold. That's what they look like. Just rolled out of bed,
Shaved their beard.
Yeah, shaved beard Asmongold. So, well, look, I don't have a whole lot of sympathy for these leagues. I don't have a whole lot of sympathy for these women because they're the ones who are allowing it. And until somebody comes in and steps up and says no, it is what it is. It is what it is, and they get what they deserve at this point. So, got anything to close that out, Blabs?
Nah, those men with the long hair can get fucked.
Okay.
Metaphorically speaking. Ew.
Yes, metaphorically speaking, right?
Ugh.
It's good. Gross.
Give them the cucumber.
Ew. Your mom told me you should hit the subscribe button. You don't want to disappoint mom, do you?